Welcome gamers, this is War General T coming with this next battle report. We have a High Elf versus High Elf at 2200 points. And here's the battlefield. We have my army on the right there and hit my opponents on the left. As you can see, I have my High Elves here tonight and working on them. As you can see, they're painted up. That's what I've been working on for my painting project lately. So you got a little taste here of what they look like, going to be looking like, and I'm going with the red colors, and my opponent's blue. So it's also red versus blue, and High Elves versus High Elves. Alright, and here's on my right flank. I got the unit of Dragon Princes with the Banner of the World Dragon, the Noble, the Enchanted Shield, Halberd, a level 4 Archmage with the Lore of Shadow, and the Book of Hoeth, and then my Bolt Thrower, first Bolt Thrower, then a unit of Sisters of Avalorn with the Handmaiden of the Ever Queen. The sisters are numbered at 16 of them, and with also a High Sister in there. They're right pretty much in the center of my army. And here's my center and left flank. I got the center there is an eagle just behind the sisters. Then I got a unit of Silverhelms with a Noble, BSB. And a level 2 Mage with the Lore of Life. And Dispel Scroll. And then I have a Bolt Thrower on the hill there. And kind of below that, to the left, is the unit of Archers and some Elven Reavers. And that is my deployment. And here's my opponent's left flank. He has a Lion Chariot, a unit of 5 Elven Reavers, and then a proxied Lion Chariot with that stone there, which goes to his Dragon Mage, and then a Flamespire Phoenix. And that's his left flank. Then we move on to his right flank and center. In the center, he's got his Dragon Princes with the Banner of the World Dragon. And then his champion has the Star Lance. His level 4 Archmage has Life for his lore. The Book of Hoeth, most likely. I didn't really get his list here. He had a Noble with a BSB. Also, probably most likely Enchanted Shield. Then next to the right, we got a unit of 6 Silverhelms, 6 wide. And next to that is the Frostheart Phoenix. And to the right of the Phoenix is the Trionic Chariot. And then a unit of 10 Silverhelms to the far right. And that's my opponent's deployment. So we go off to a High Elf turn 1, which is mine. As you can see here, I kind of just do. This is also after Vanguard, because my Reavers moved up there behind the building, and those Silverhelms moved up. And alright, and here's my right flank. I just move up a little bit with the sisters. The eagle flies over them, over in front of the house. The Bolt Thrower stays, and the Dragon Princes, they move up some, and just to stay out of the Charger's arc and the range of those other 2 units ahead of them. And then we go on to the magic phase. For my Shadow Archmage, he had Akhmed's Mind Razor, Michaelis Mystifying Miasma, the Withering, and Pit of Shades. For my level 2, he had the Throne of Vines, and flesh to stone. So on the roll, it was a 2 and a 1. So I got 3 and he got 2. No channels for either of us. So I roll all 3 of my dice on the Pit of Shades up to his Phoenix and his proxy chariot there up in the left corner. I rolled a 6, 6, and a 4. Irresistible. My first spell. So I roll and we roll the damage and all that, and I believe that's on the next image. But then this kind of covers the shooting there with the bolt thrower at that first lion chariot. So he causes 2 wounds on that chariot. And we'll go to the next image where the magic result was. And here we go. This is the result of the magic with the Pit of Shades with the 2 6s. I tried to aim actually closer to the Phoenix so I would get him in the chariot, but with the scatter it moved over 2 to 3 inches, so it just stayed on the chariot. Goes off, he rolls, he misses the test, and he's gone. Then I roll in the miscast chart, I get a 10, and I lose a level, and that spell is gone for the rest of the game. That's the way the magic goes. And here's another shot of the shooting. I have my left bolt thrower, he shoots at that chariot, Triana chariot, causing 2 wounds to him, which he failed those 2 saves, so he gets 2 wounds. Then my sisters, they shoot at the silver helm, 6-unit silver helm, getting 9 wounds out of 12 hits, which was my hits and wounds rolls were pretty high in this game. So with his failed saves, he 2 dies. So I got rid of 2 of the silver helms. And my Eleanor Reavers, they tried to shoot at the silver helms again, but causing no wounds. So since that was turn 1 and there's no other combat, no one's been in range to charge anything, we move on to his turn 1. And we're at my opponent's high elf turn 1. He moved his reavers up closer to the bolt thrower. His chariot moves over to the right, to the table edge there. And the Phoenix charges and gets into my eagle. And you can see there the dragon princes, they charge and get into my sisters. I attempt to stand and shoot, and unfortunately I don't get any wounds because they get that banner and do all their saves, and I knew that was coming. So we move on to the magic. We get he rolls, it gets a 4 and a 2, and then I rolled for a channel and I get my 1 channel. So now I have 5 dice, Dan had 6. So he rolls he rolls 2 for thrones, goes off, so I tried to dispel it with 2 of my dice, and he got a total of 11. When I rolled my 2 dice, I got a total of a 10. Missed it by 1. Therefore, now he continues on. He goes for 3 dice, 2 flesh of stone, gets 19 on that. I also do a 3 dice. I get a 12. Missed a dispel. And then he uses his final dice for a roll. It goes off on a 9. I'm out of dice. I don't use my dispel scroll. I just let him go off. And also, another comment on these magic phases. I believe most likely he has the Book of Hoth. Is that, of course, because from what probably you would tell further on once I get to that point, but it seems like all our magic was going off, so we didn't need to re-roll any dice to get to it. But I'm sure you know you can also re-roll to get it boosted up higher, so it'll be harder to dispel. Neither of us rolled to increase the power or increase the spell attempt. So on that first one where he got 11 and I got 10, if I remember that, I could have re-rolled and got a higher and dispelled it. But till next time, it's a good lesson to learn, to remember and learn your guys' spells and trinkets you got on them. Anyways, we move on to shooting. I believe that's in the next image here. Here's my left flank with all those charges, movements. Pretty much the Reavers there, Silver Helms behind them. They're able to make the flee. The Eagle moves, Frostheart moves up there. Chariot's behind the building. Silver Helms, they moved over and up. And then we move on to combat. This is where we are at combat. And here's the Reavers there on the right. They had shot at that bolt thrower there, causing no wounds, even that close. Then with the combat, we had the Dragon Princes. They kill out 7 of my sisters, and with the charge and everything else, they flee from combat. They're up to there. And the Eagle stays with that 1 wound. Phoenix gets no wounds. He stays. So we're in combat still there. Now we're off to my turn too. I rally my Ellen Reavers. Then they move up there to aim at the chariot. And my Silver Helms, they attempt to charge on his Silver Helms. Unfortunately, they fail. My Silver Helm horses are tired for some reason. They do not make the range. And let's see, my Dragon Prince attempts to charge the chariot on the right, and he also fails, getting 3 2s. All 3 dice on the Swift Stride rolls were 2s, for a total of 4 inches. They're tired too. All my horses are tired in this game, just like last week that I didn't post out because I had other things going on in my life. But yeah, my horses these last 2 weeks have been tired for some reason. Then we move on to magic. So there's a view for that. The Dragon Princes, they aren't able to make it. The Reavers, they stay there. So on my magic, I get 5 dice. He gets 3. So I roll my dice on thrones. And goes off. He lets go off. Then I roll for flesh to stone. He dispels that, my opponent. So that's it for magic. And shooting, my bolt thrower shoots at the 11 Reavers there, killing 2 of them, causing them to flee because, of course, as you can see his hand there, he put dice down so he can move that building and had to measure from his general to them, and they were like, what's that, not even about a 16th of an inch shy of the 12 inch. They were like 3 lines off, so they fled. They weren't able to use the general's leadership. And then my left bolt thrower shoots at the Frostheart. Hits 4. Only gets 1 wound on, but he saves that. Then my archers shoot at the Silver Helms, and then they get hits with 3 wounds, but he saves them all. And then for the combat, this one's after that. I guess I didn't get that picture, but with the Eagle and Flamefire's Phoenix, of course my Eagle dies, getting 2 wounds, no saves, and his Eagle had reformed from that combat. And then we go, this is my opponent's turn too. And his charges, so his Flames fires Phoenix there, he charges and makes it into contact with the mage only. And his Frost Heart goes into my other side, the Silver Helms. His Silver Helms charge my Bolt Thrower, and his Chariot charges my Reavers. The shooting, back up my shooting. The Reavers weren't able to do any wounds to him. They missed theirs. So he survives and survives getting more wounds. So that Chariot's in with his impact hits. Of course, he kills off, I believe it was 3. Might be on the next image, but I want to kind of cover some stuff here before I go to the next image. Magic, he rolls pretty high dice to a 6 and a 5. So I get my 6, he gets 11. He rolls 5 dice because he still had his Thorn Vines and Remains in play spell on his Dragon Princes, so he just rolls for Flesh to Stone, goes off. I don't dispel it. And then he goes for Earth Blood. He gets that off. I at a 15 with 3 dice. I roll my 3 dice and get a 10. Dice gods are at it again. So the next one, he rolls 3 dice, gets a 16. I believe it was on Regrowth, but I use my Dispel Scroll for that. And then his final dice, he rolls for... Actually, no, he doesn't. He's out of dice. 5. Yeah, 5. Yep. So I have 3 dice left, which I use to dispel Throne of Vines. So that's off for next round. Till his next magic phase. That's it for magic. Of course, his Reavers are fleeing, so they can't shoot, so he has no shooting. Then we go on to combat, and we go. My BSB had the higher initiative, so he went on the Frosty, gets no wounds. The Silver Helms go off on that side, go out the Frosty, gets no wounds. Or actually, no hits or no wounds. Neither do the horses. And the mage, he gets a hit on the Flames Fire, but doesn't get a wound. So then his attack's back. His flame gets 2 hits, 2 wounds. My mage is dead. My level 2 gone. So then we go to the Frosty. He gets 4 wounds, 3 wounding. I roll for my saves, and I get 3 6s. Well, at least the dice rolls for my armor saves, but I sure can't say that for my magic. And then for the Silver Helms and the Bolt Thrower, poof, they're gone. There's nothing that could stand in their way. And here's his Reavers fleeing with his Lion Chariot and moved over, and my Dragon Princes. So that's the end of combat. And here's more some of the combat too, and also going to my turn. So what I do is I declare a charge of my Dragon Princes up there into his Reavers. They continue to flee past the Chariot. Of course, they just nicked the Chariot's base, so they have to take a test, and the Chariot passes. So I do my test to redirect. I do it, and I do my charge into the Chariot and get in. So then it goes to my magic. I roll 2 6s, so 12 to me, 6 to my opponent. And then for magic, I rolled 6 dice on Occam's. Goes off. He doesn't dispel it at all. So that's my unit of Dragon Princes. And then I go 2 dice Michaelis Mystifying Miasma on the Dragon Princes on his unit. And on 2 dice it goes off. He doesn't dispel, attempt to roll or anything for that, or dispel it. So I roll on the dice. Everything gets lowered by 3 because I rolled a 5. And yeah, I went for the higher level. So it was 3, roll D3, I got a 5. So all levels was reduced by 3. And then for my last one, I went 4 dice on Flesh to Stone on my other unit, but he rolls his dice, all 6 of his dice, and dispels it. So then we go on to shooting. So we have archers shooting at the Silver Helms that took out that bolt thrower. Gets some 5 wounds on that. Must probably be on the image. Let's go to that. Nope, here we go. Let's go to this one. This is the charge of the Dragon Princes. Gets into the chariot there. And my general, well, we'll take care of this one, but he kills, so I decided to go with my noble there. He kills the chariot with his 2 wounds left, so my unit doesn't even get to attack. Alright, here we are on the left flank. Then we got the shooting of those archers into the Silver Helms, getting 5 wounds, and he saves those. And then my bolt thrower that was on the right there, he turned around to face the Dragon Princes that was facing him. Gets 4 hits, 6 shots, 4 wounds, and then he does his saves, but he misses 2. So 2 Dragon Princes are dead from the bolt thrower. So definitely some stuff can kill those Dragon Princes with the banners, bolt throwers, or war machines most likely. So then we go to combat here. We have those Dragon Princes back in that last image. And I killed the chariot with just my general. Then we go here to Eleanor Reavers on the chariot there. From the last round I lost 3, and then with this combat I lost 0 wounds on him. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he wipes me out on his turn, so we'll go there. Then my BSB goes onto the Frosty, gets 3 hits, no wounds. Silver Helms in the Frosty gets 1 wound, and he attempts to save it, but he gets a wound. Frosty got a wound. And then the Silver Helms in the rear go against the Flamespire Phoenix, gets 0 hits. They totally miss, trying to turn around. And that's it for combat. Here's another image of combat with the on his turn he rallied his fleeing Silver Helms there. After here my combat reform, this is the combat reform from the last combat facing the Frosty. And then we are here at his turn 3. So he attempts to charge his 4-man Silver Helms there into my flank, but fails that. And he goes 4 inches, so his horses are feeling slow tonight too. And then his bigger unit of Silver Helms, they charge into my left flank, get in. The Lion Chariot that took out the Reavers from last combat, they charge on the other side of the Frosty, which will be in the next image. And his Dragon Princes go into my bolt thrower. Here's another view of the chariot coming in. And the Phoenix is on each side, front and back, and the Silver Helms. So we go here to Magic. His Magic, he rolls a 5-4. I roll my channels, get 1. So it's 9-6. He goes 5 dice at Throne of Vines to get that back, but does not get high enough. He misses it, getting 1s and 2s. So then he uses his last 4 on, I didn't write it down here, but he gets 2 6s, so it goes off. Must have been one of like the Flesh to Stone or something, or what else was there? I think it was Earth to Blood. He must have got off 2 6s. He rolls on the miscast. What did he get here? Let's see. He gets just the power drain. What's that? 8 to 9, I believe it was. Nothing too big on his unit. So then we go to shooting. His Reavers had rallied behind my Dragon Princes there, as you can see up at the top there. So they unfortunately they didn't flee, but they happened to rally about 5 inches short of the table edge. They shoot into my Dragon Princes, causing 0 wounds. So with the combat, the Dragon Princes and the Bolt Thrower, no more Bolt Thrower. Go figure. Then we go to the big battle. And here we are at the center with the big battle. His Silver Helms do get one dies. That must have been last combat, because this combat only my guy died. And pretty much we stick here. This is it for pretty much combat after all is said and done. His Frosty whiffs, his Silver Helms whiff, and my Flame Sphere, his Flame Sphere, he killed my one guy. So that's it for combat turn 3. And we are on to my turn. Let's get here to it. No, I didn't really write anything down, but it'll be in the next image. And here we are. This is going to be the end at my turn 4, top of 4, because we looked at the time. Other people who were finished. It was up to myself, our game, and one other game that was still going on. And I looked at the time limit, and of course we got a tournament coming up in October where you have a 2.5 hour time limit. And of course, with High Elves going High Elves, we got a lot of attacks on each other and a lot of shooting, well, mostly shooting for me and Magic, trying to figure out results and what the number. Pretty much, you would think it would have been faster because it would have all been the same numbers, but when you got multiple combats going on, and people are steadfast and whatnot, it's just there's no way to make this game go quicker. I got 2 Phoenixes on each side. I got Silver Helms coming in. I got a Chariot coming in. Gotta do all their wounds and saves, and he's got to roll all his dice. And so we looked at time. We were about good another 10 minutes till the end there. So we decided to call it and figure up all our points. So unfortunately, with what he got knocked out and killed and what fled from my army, he had won by 640 points for a pretty good victory. I wish I had that scoring chart here for ya. But if it would have been the tournament that's coming up, it's probably been like with a 650, 640. It would have been rounded down to 600. So that could have been like around 16 points for him, 4 points for me. Victory, win for him. So my opponent in blue had won the battle. Go blue. So this is my High Elves, as you can see. As you saw in the other pictures, I've been working on them here the last few months, getting them painted. Still working on them. And So I thought I'd browse them out, try them out, just give you a little sneak peek at them. Hope you enjoyed, and welcome to watch the video as often as you like, making comments, and subscribe to my channel. Look to stay updated on future posts, and hopefully I'll have more painting done. So enjoy. Good day.